Hello and welcome to another episode of Potside Chats, where we talk about all things China. And in this episode, we're celebrating World Book Day.
Yes, World Book and Copyright Day was founded in 1995 by UNESCO, celebrated every April 23rd, which, fun fact, is William Shakespeare's birth and death date.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
Fascinating.
Another fun fact with World Book Day. World Book Day was first celebrated in Spain to honor another renowned writer, Miguel de Cervantes.
Author of Don Quixote.
Yes,
We
love that story.
Yes. So how is China celebrating World Book Day?
Well, I did some research and I found out that a lot of private and public institutions in China will celebrate this day by hosting various events and conferences and activities on and offline. And with the online aspect, the app Xiaohongshu that everyone knows now.
Yeah, TikTok
right?
refugees.
Exactly. They also will do campaigns.
For offline activities, China hosts a 3-day conference, the National Conference of Reading. And this year will be the 4th consecutive year it's been held, and different cities take turns to host. This year it'll be in Taiyuan in Shenxi province.
So I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Do you guys know how many bookworms there are in China?
Ooh, I actually do, because I was preparing for this episode.
Okay.
And I went on the website for the National Conference on Reading.
That's what I was talking about.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And in 2023, it was recorded 81.9% of Chinese adults were reading books, articles, and periodicals and their digital counterparts. That's an incredible number, isn't it?
Yeah, huge number. When you take into account that that is bookworms, that's not just the overall literacy rate of the nation. And within living memory, the literacy rate in China was 20% at one point.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. What, in the span of like 70 years?
Right, well, that 20% was at the dawn of the PRC in 1949. And since then, there's been new research. And in 2020, the World Bank Group stated that 97% literacy now in China.
97%,
Yeah.
wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, also for this episode, we thought we'd have some special guests on. So we invited literary agent Zoe and Gen Z writer Johnny to give us their insights about their experience. So let's take a look at our first clip.
Well, World Book Day, I think it's as important as World Beatles Day or World Corgi Day. I think it's just a moment for fans around the world to come together and to celebrate what they like. I mean, I like corgis, I love the Beatles, I also love books. As to the importance Chinese literature has on the world stage, I think because of extenuating circumstances, lack of translation and a lack of access, Chinese literature it hasn't caught up yet. But given the fact that last year a South Korean writer won the Nobel Prize, Asian literature it's coming along.
I love what I'm doing because I see myself as a bridge between China and other countries. China has a long history, as we all know, and literature plays an important role in all the thousands of years of civilization. I feel like in modern times, Chinese literature hasn't been known and read and talked about as it should be. And that is happened because of many reasons. In China, in the literary ecosystem, there's not many professional literary agents. So without them actively promoted and pitch and to educate the market and readers, what happened when you look at those literary festivals and book fairs globally, you see more about, say, the Nobel Literature winner Mo Yan or a few other big names. But how about millions other writers in China? And then, but also the thing is changing. What I see is these days there are emerging trend of young generation writers. They can write and speak bilingually, both in Mandarin and in English. I see that as a very positive trend to introduce Chinese literature to the world.
Very interesting.
Great guests.
Yeah, really great guests. And I think when you start talking about Chinese literature, it's expansive to say the least, but you really have to start with the 4 classics.
Oh yeah.
4大名著
Yes, well, I mean, my favorite is Journey to the West because I love Sun Wukong so much. And you think about that story and how much it's been adapted and how many iterations of it, from the TV shows, movies, the video games. I mean, last year we had Black Wukong, and it was just incredible. And I think like worldwide success.
Yeah. So if you take that, Dream the Red Chamber, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and Outlaws of the Marsh, you're really laying a solid foundation to understand Chinese culture as well as pre-modern Chinese literature.
So, you know, it's an incredible selection there. So let's go back to our guests and see what they're reading.
If you ask me to recommend one Chinese contemporary author or poet, I can recommend Li Juan. So she writes beautifully prose about Xinjiang because she has been living there for so long time. And her book has been such a bestseller that so many tourists later on traveled to the same Alatai where she's been living for so many years.
Wow, insightful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really great. I love how Zoe talked about just what genres right now are really popular and what Chinese people are reading. And her giving the example of My Alatai and how it was turned into the TV series and then the frenzy, the travel frenzy around that.
Yeah.
It's a great example.
And you can't blame people for wanting to travel to Xinjiang to see those locations because it's absolutely stunning. So yeah. And can you say that a work of fiction, you know, a literary work is worth its salt until it's been adapted into a film or TV series? You have The Sword and the Brocade, which started off as a written web series, web fiction in short installations that was picked up and turned into a TV series. So yeah, hugely popular. Web fiction, incredibly popular here, which I had no idea about.
Oh yeah, it is massive.
On subway trains and stuff, like you often see just people like reading digital novels on their phone, and it's not like highbrow literature, it's whatever they like, and it's not just, you know, functional nonfiction, they also like fiction quite a bit. And just saying that, as a reader and like a nascent writer, I feel encouraged to know that there's a built-in readership out there.
Internet literature, it's a very unique phenomenon in China. The online literature in China, it's really popular because some famous online literary authors, they can have millions of followers, and their books also sold millions of copies. What is unique about online literature in China is, look at this bookshop. You see the book as an art product already printed, nicely put on a bookshelf. Whereas online literature, most of the time, those authors, they update chapter by chapter, which means they need to write very hard, usually thousands of words every day, and also they need to know how to build the suspense and hook the readers to follow and like and comment.
Very insightful to see like what Gen Z is reading, what they're gravitating towards, because of course a generation's so plugged in, and of course the subsequent generations.
There you go, hot off the press.
Yeah, all the news, it's fit to print.
Okay, so we thought it would be fun to end the episode sharing our favorite reads and our recommendations. So Steph, what have we got first?
All right, we got first of Ants and Dinosaurs by Liu Cixin. So if you enjoyed the three-body problem, some of that Lovecraftian spookiness is also present in this book as it was in the three-body problem, about two civilizations, the ants and the dinosaurs, their symbiosis together, their own evolution as civilizations, their technology evolution, and then the aftermath.
Ooh, surprise. No spoilers.
So a quick read if you're on plane, train, holiday, it's a good one to pick up.
I think I will borrow that next.
That does sound really interesting.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Totally going on my reading list. But first on my reading list is Red Star Over China by Edgar Snow. And I'm really excited to read this because it's an account of his time with the Red Army in the summer and fall of 1936.
Wow.
And he had many interviews with top leaders such as Mao. And so it gives a really good description of what it was like along the Long March.
Yeah, it's such a celebrated book.
Yeah.
It is.
An incredible access for a foreign journalist, especially. What have you got for us, Nathan?
Yes, so this I've got 10,000 Miles of Clouds and Moons. And this is probably the most contemporary piece out of the three. And this is a collection of new writing, short stories and poetry. And it's such an intimate book. It's so beautiful. It feels very raw and very personal. I feel like I'm getting a real insight into the writers' lives. So this has been lovely to read, and this was published this year.
Hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses. So I really would recommend this one. It's
Beautiful.
Great. Yeah, indeed.
Well, that's as good a place as any to leave you to your own World Book Day reads. Thanks for joining us here on Podside Chats, and we'll see you next time.
Happy World Book Day.
Bye.